Hey everybody, I'm Zilla Blitz and welcome to another episode of American Truck Simulator. Today we're going to try to get to the Wyoming border because the Wyoming DLC comes out in 2 days. We want to be as close as possible to it as we can. Now we're up here in Sandpoint, the northern tip of Idaho, and we want to try to get down to someplace close right here. This is the one we want. This bulldozer is going to take us down to Provo, Utah, which is, it's not the closest city to Wyoming, but it'll be a 14.5-hour drive with this 40,000-pound bulldozer. So it should be kind of an interesting ride, and it'll get us relatively close enough anyway to the Wyoming border. So let's get this started. Now it's about 1:30 in the morning, so the first part of the drive is going to be in the night, and then we should have some good daytime driving through here. And haven't seen this part of Idaho yet, so it's going to be some sights to look at and stuff like that too. So in any case, let's see how far away we are from. Looks like 9 minutes, so that's not bad. Okay, so we'll get this going here. Looks like our lights are on. Wheels a little off here. Hang on, got to adjust that. Wheels adjusted. All right, so we'll get going here. We're kind of just cut through Sandpoint. Looks like we're going to go pick up our trailer, and then we'll be off. This should be another heavy cargo load, so it could be kind of interesting. And we'll see in a few minutes once we get to the pickup point. All right, so we're not quite there yet. This is another one of these lumber company pickups. So we're going up again one of these bumpy roads. Now, I've yet to pick one of these up or drop one off without damaging the truck in some way, shape, manner, or form. So I'm hopeful. This looks like something out of the Blair Witch Project, actually. But I'm hopeful. What's going on here? Really slow. We must be going up quite a bit. For whatever reason, we're not making good time here. This is tough driving. What's going on? Alright, so we are at the pickup spot. I'm not quite sure what's going on with the engine there. I've had that happen once before in Euro Truck Simulator, but quite to that degree. I don't know if it was the angle or the terrain or something like that, but I checked a few of the settings. Oops, didn't seem to help much. But well, we'll just go on. I think maybe it's just uphill and the truck's in a bad mood or something. Alright, let's get this hooked up. We got our bulldozer. Did not match up. Oh, there we go.
Time to get the job done.
Time to get the job done. Let's go. Let's take a quick look at what we got here. Nice. Little bulldozer, not super heavy. And it's not articulated for the first time in a while, which is nice. Let's get this on the road here. 14.5 hours. It's going to be a long journey. And coming down here should be kind of fun. Hopefully we don't damage the truck. Oh, seriously? It's not the right way. God! So we're pulling out here now. Driver Janet K couldn't find a job and had to return empty. Fuel and maintenance costs are minus $410. Janet K is not helping us here. Anyway, we're going to bump down this road here, hopefully get back to the main highway. Yeah, we got a lot of speed here. This is all downhill, it looks like. So, oh, it's going to be bumpy riding. It wasn't that tricky compared to the last one that we did, the achievement one here, but yeah, we are just coming straight downhill, huh? Anyway, we'll get to the main road here, and then we'll chat as we get started on this long trip. Right, so we just cut through Sandpoint, and we're on our southward journey through Idaho here, and it's about 2:30 in the morning. Took a little while to get through town. We got some stop by some train tracks and stuff like that. But we're making time now and kind of plugging along. It's kind of dark now, so I'm thinking what we'll do is I'm going to drive a little bit and then start to chat. Wyoming's coming out in a couple days. I'd like to talk a little bit about the head tracking. If you saw the Euro Truck Simulator episode that was just before this one, and then new truck coming out in the game, and just maybe some other random things too. So, but we'll plug along while it's dark, and then we'll see you as the sun's coming up. So the sun's coming up behind us, and we've got a beautiful day. It looks like making good time the last couple hours. Pretty much just kind of one lane each way, kind of cutting our way south through Idaho, and struggling a little bit. The truck seems to struggle a little bit with this load. And I wonder if when we upgraded to this day cab or whatever it is, that we lost some of the power on the transmission or something like that. Because I feel like the truck was more powerful before we upgraded it. But Maybe we just have to work through a couple more levels and then upgrade it again. I think there's a transmission or something we get in a couple of levels. So we'll just deal with it. I like the look of this, and that's pretty important, right? Yep, everybody's flashing their high beams at us, saying hello. They're so friendly here. I wonder why they're doing that. All right, beautiful day around. So we're cutting through here. And so it's September 5th now. Idaho comes out on September 7th. And just by chance, I happen to have the day off on September 7th. So I'm thinking I'll get it right at release, and then I might try to do that, like an episode a day for a week kind of thing. I might be able to bypass the way station. Excellent. Good. Might be able to record like 2 or 3 on Tuesday and Wednesday and get ahead of it. So it might be kind of fun to try that. Got to get some trivia questions ready for Wyoming. That's going to be fun. And yeah, it is, by the way, did look it up. I think people mentioned it too. It is the least populated state in the United States, which is amazing for a state that size. The second, I think, is Vermont, which is much smaller up in the Northeast if you're not too familiar with U.S. geography. But it'd be kind of fun to see what they've got there. I think we've got Devil's Tower in the east, which is really spectacular. I've been there and seen that a few years ago, so that's pretty cool. And then lots of different sites to see. I think there's a good number of towns. I'm curious to see what the achievements are, too. So, yeah, I'm really excited about it. But, wow, this is pretty cool here. These little canyons on both sides and the sun coming up. It says 60 miles an hour, but there's a pretty sharp turn here, so a little skeptical that we can handle it at 60 miles an hour. Wow, this is kind of cool. I think the sunrise and the sunsets, of course, they're the best time for photographs in the real world, and they seem to be the best light in the game as well. I'm going to go right by Pokey here. Hopefully we can make it. This feels a little dangerous, passing like this on a big curve, but I think we've got the capability here. Just got to stay in our lane. Stay in your lane and hit the gas. There we go.
Keep left and then exit left.
Right, hopefully he stays where he belongs. Heading to Missoula. Excellent. Oop, 45 miles an hour. So yeah, pretty cool day here, and I am super excited for a new state and to get into it and things like that. I mean, there's still states we haven't seen here. Like, we haven't been to California. I think only just kind of dipped our toes in Arizona. Only dipped our toes, whoa, in Colorado. It's a tight turn. That's probably why they asked us to slow down. Only dipped our toes in Colorado. There's probably a few more I haven't been to. So kind of looking to explore, but it'd be fun to be in a new state and kind of explore around and things like that. I mean, everything feels so new here. We're only level 10, so it's still a long way to go to have a kind of a powered up truck and to feel like we've driven a lot. I was looking at the map. It's only just 11% of the map, and I imagine that'll go down once Wyoming is released, but it should be fun. So we'll just kind of plow along here, and then we'll see you in a little bit. Probably we've got 11 hours left, so we'll see you in about another couple hours and see as progress goes along. About 9 hours left on the trip here now, and this is a cool stretch that we're on here. You can see the hills off in the distance, kind of big drop off to the left side here, kind of winding back and forth. This truck in front of us has been kind of slow, but pretty cool views here. Looks like we're going over the White Bird Creek right now. That's a creek? You get this big of a bridge over a creek? Wow, that's pretty intense here. Oops, not that. Let's do that. Oh, that's pretty cool. Whoops, not that. There we go. Let's get our mirrors back. So yeah, just chugging along. Thought I'd take a quick look at the views. And I'll see you in a little bit. Oh, that's cool. I'm not sure if you saw that. We passed the 45th parallel, which is an achievement. A little achievement pops up in the game. I knew that was an achievement. You basically have to drive past it, I think, along the road, which is actually kind of cool because where I live right now in the United States is actually very, very close to the 45th parallel. And the last house we lived in was literally 50, maybe 150 feet from the 45th parallel, which was really cool. So you could literally, our kids' bus stop was on the 45th parallel, 45.0.000. It's pretty cool. So yeah, that's pretty close to where we are. I used to do quite a bit of geocaching. So those coordinates are actually kind of meaningful to us in a lot of different ways as a geocacher, because that's how you tell location and stuff. So that's kind of a cool achievement to get. Basically, I think it is. All you have to do again is drive over the 45th parallel, and this little achievement triggers. I'll put a picture of it up here too, which is kind of cool. So, and speaking of things to do, it looks like we are going to need to sleep here very soon, because just got that warning, and I think we just yawned. So, and of course, as soon as we start yawning, we don't see any more places to sleep. I haven't seen them for a while, so I'm hopeful that we can find a place to sleep here pretty soon. Gas is pretty good, so don't worry, Digi. We're good on gas. But yeah, it's been a really fun drive. That was a nice scenic drive back there. I really enjoyed that one. It's been low traffic, so just kind of relaxing and stuff like that. It's just perfect. About a little bit short of halfway through now, so it does make me think, though. They started obviously in the western part of the United States, making all the different states and stuff like that. I think of like New Mexico, and I think Colorado, Idaho, Wyoming, of course, the new one coming up. New Viewpoint, excellent. Where is it? I guess we'll have to stop. Like these quaint towns and stuff like this, and the sceneries and the scenery and the mountains and everything, and some of the natural, spectacular views you get around here too. But as you get to the central part of the United States, it's not the same type of experience. For example, like where we are in Minnesota is flat and agriculture. The Dakotas would be okay, although there's a huge stretch of kind of South Dakota that's just extremely boring. Let's go check out this viewpoint here. There it is. This must be the one for the town or something like that. So it makes me think like I could see a lot of people being interested in buying the downloadable content for what is this? The town of McCall. Must be something historic here, right? For them to have a little viewpoint here for it. But we'll take a look. We do need to sleep here though, so we got to get going. Steaks and Spirits restaurant. Cool. But how are they going to position a download like Nebraska, which is basically kind of flat and agriculture? It doesn't have that scenic zip and appeal that the western part of the United States has. So I'm kind of curious to see what they do with that to make it interesting and things like that. So kind of interesting. I guess they're still away from that. They got Texas coming up, which that's going to be a fun state. You got some big cities, a lot of nature. That's going to be, I think, a pretty big DLC in some places. Of course, very fun to travel through and stuff. But that's just not going to be the same thing as they get to some of these flat agricultural states that are next in line once you get through these very scenic kind of western states to go through. Let's see that way. I guess we're okay. Trust the force here. Yeah. Wow, it's raining hard now. This is kind of cool. Anyway, we're going to keep chugging along here. We've just turned red. I don't see any place to sleep, so I'm hopeful we can find a place to sleep soon, but we'll do our best. It's actually going to be interesting. There isn't a place to sleep till Boise, which is the next city, and that's, I'm going to guess, probably over an hour away, so I think we're going to get that fine for driving when you're too tired and the screen's going to go black and stuff like that. This might be the longest stretch I've ever had to go in either game without getting sleep, over the kind of the sleep limit. So I hope we do okay. We had one episode way back early in Euro Truck Simulator where I got stuck behind a traffic blockage and I didn't know how to handle those, and then had to back up. It was just a nightmare episode. And in that episode, it went black, and I think we kind of really went way over the sleep limit here. But I'm going to kind of put the pedal to the floor here and see if we can make it to Boise in time for sleep. So, although it only looks a few seconds later in game time, it's actually about 5 or 6 hours later. I had to eat dinner, and then some friends invited us over for some drinks and stuff. Well, yeah, so this might be interesting now, actually, come to think of it. But yeah, I just got a sleeping violation, $200. But I think there's a place to sleep right up here after we make a corner. So I'm hopeful that we can get a place. We haven't had a sleeping violation for a long time, but there's literally been no places to sleep along this road here for just really the past 4 hours of game time. So that's unusual in this game, because usually there's something stacked up, but maybe people just drink a lot of coffee and don't sleep here in Idaho. Whoa, hit the brakes here.
Go straight up.
But yeah, there's a place to sleep right up ahead, so I think we're going to be able to grab some sleep soon. I don't know how often does it charge you for sleeping violations, because it's been a while. And the screen hasn't gone black, so, because in ETS, there's a second one, so that's $400 in sleeping violation, but there's no place to sleep. So, well, we'll solve it. But in ETS 2, the screen goes black, right? It looks like you're going to pass out and stuff like that. But it's not doing that here, which is different. So that's interesting. But we'll see in a little bit, right after we get some sleep, hopefully. All right, so we pulled off here, finally found a place to sleep. It keeps dinging those charges, too. We've had 600 now, I think, in fines for not sleeping. Hopefully we can sleep right here. Yes, okay. Excellent. Finally, we get to sleep. And now it's nighttime. So here we go. Back on the road, we're going to get some gas. Yes, Jen made $600. That's about just a little bit more than she lost by not getting a job on the last time here. So, oops, I slept again. Jan made $1,600 while we were sleeping. Excellent. This is actually okay because we'll get some daylight driving then. 16 hours of sleep is always good. So we're going to zip around, get gas. We'll get back on the highway, and then off we go again. So we've got about 5 hours left on the drive, and this is little traffic, 2-lane highways going in both directions. So we're making good time now, just flying along. I'm sure we're going to hit some cities before we get there, but making good time now. So it's been a rather pleasant 14-hour drive, even though it's been cut up into 2 real-life segments here. But now, I understand there's a new truck out, right? International has put out a new truck for American Truck Simulator. I've only seen pictures of it, but it'd be fun to have a little bit more cash in the game. I'm kind of excited when we get up more levels, and trying to think about like what the next kind of financial goals should be, because I've been kind of taking the money and spending it on the truck, but I feel like we should start probably maybe now concentrating a little bit on getting another driver and getting a third truck. I think that might be kind of fun, and maybe we could get that international truck. I'm not sure what the base price is and stuff like that. Maybe we'll get the international truck and get that as our third truck and put that somewhere and hire another driver. We'll see if we can get Jenna going and cranking out some more money for us too. The truck is stopping them, but so that'd be fun to get a whole fleet of trucks. And I think there is achievement like there was in Euro Truck Simulator 2 as well, where you get an achievement for driving 1,000 kilometers in Europe with each one of the truck brands in the game. And I imagine that, I think I saw that in American Truck Simulator 2, where it might be 1,000 miles, but kind of same idea. So that'd be a kind of fun one to get. I don't think we still have gotten that one in Euro Truck Simulator yet either. So many things to do. Yikes. I was not paying attention there. Just caught that was slowing down at the last second. Almost rammed into that car. The car all torched. It's all been fire, and I think the guy's giving him a talking to, but there's nobody in the car and it's all burned up. It's kind of funny. So anyway, about a little bit under 2 hours left. We have been flying 65 miles an hour, except for that right there. Just pretty much 65 miles an hour the whole way. Had it on cruise control and just enjoying the scenery and stuff. So a pretty mellow, chill ride here as we're cutting down into Utah, as we get close to the Wyoming border. So less than 48 hours away, and we are all set to go once we finish this ride. Please pull in for a vehicle inspection. Okay. Do that. I like these that are just pull off by the highway. These are pretty quick and easy. The ones that are kind of an adventure to pull off is a little bit of a haul there.
Okay, let's find a new route.
All right, slow down. Usually cops here. I did want to mention, too, for people that watched the last Euro Truck Simulator 2 episode, the episode before this one, the one where I did the head tracking. So it was Jim Wagner who had an idea that instead of using your phone, if you had an old webcam, it didn't even stop. Okay. Anyway, if you have an old webcam, you could use that instead of using your phone, and that would reduce the latency. And so, because getting the phone set up is kind of fiddly, I have to pull it out, put it on a tripod, kind of hook it up. It's a lot. It's like stuff to do, and sometimes I just want to sit down and drive. So I tried it with I have an older webcam that I use, and I set it up, but unfortunately it seems like the AI tracking software, it's not really good yet at telling you have 2 webcams attached to your computer, so it would only recognize my newer one, it wouldn't recognize the older one. And then I could trick it actually, get over here, get out of my way car, good. I could trick it by unplugging the new one just having the old one plugs in, starting the AI tracking software, and then plugging the new one in, it would stick with the old one. But then when I get in the game, I found that I couldn't center it. Even though all the commands were right, it just wasn't working right. So I have a feeling that perhaps it's just, for whatever reason, it's not adept yet at kind of figuring out what to do. I mean, it's an alpha version, so maybe it's just not adept yet at kind of being sensitive if you have two webcams attached to it. And again, this wouldn't be a problem if you weren't trying to record yourself and your video while you were using the head tracking. So if you're just playing the game, this isn't an issue at all, and it works great. So if I'm not recording an episode, I'll probably just turn it on and use it that way, because it is very convenient. I did like it. I think especially if it's off your webcam rather than your phone, the latency is just going to be better. Even when I was kind of testing it off the webcam here, it was much faster and much smoother, whereas there was that delay on the phone because it's got to connect over here. Got to connect via Wi-Fi wireless to the computer and things like that. But I did enjoy the head tracking. I'm just not sure how much I'm going to fiddle with it for the episodes, because although it is a benefit, I'm not sure it's worth pulling the other webcam out, and then every time I quit out of the software, I had to redo that process. I had to pull the webcam out and put it back in. So for making videos, I'm not really sure that I'm going to stick with it, but I think I'll definitely use it when I'm driving and not recording, because then it's super easy. I can just fire it up, click. It's literally 2 clicks, reset it, and then it's working. Turn it on in the game. So it's pretty easy. So that was fun. But anyway, I thought I'd just fill people in here. So about an hour left to go now, and I've been babbling a lot. It's been a long ride, 14 hours. It's been a while since we've done one this far. But this is good because it gets us right close to the Wyoming border, and we are ready to go for Tuesday. So we'll check in again as we get close to the destination, see if I can park this thing. Speaking of which, if you saw the last Euro Truck Simulator 2 episode, I had an abysmal time parking, and I think I realized why. I think the turning for the U.S. trucks is different, and I think I grew accustomed to the backing up of U.S. trucks, so that when I went back to Euro Truck Simulator, my timing and sense of how to turn was just all off. Because it was, I think, literally the worst parking job I've done in either truck simulator in probably 5 months or something like that. I know I've had some that have been that bad, but this was not that hard, and I kept screwing it up, and I couldn't figure out why. So I think it has to do with just like your turn radius and how you're able to move, how much the wheel moves, and how much it adjusts the trailer and things like that. I think in the two games it's very different, so maybe going back and forth is a little bit tricky. But I'll play around with it more, and maybe someone who's had experience can share. But I sure found it hard to back up in Euro Truck Simulator 2, inexplicably hard there. So wondering if that's what was causing it. But anyway, I babble, and we'll touch base as we get close to the final destination. So here we are in downtown Provo, Utah. Oh, we're going to make this light too. This looks like quite a cool building here on the right. A fun little town. Straight, flat, very western with its wide streets and wide sidewalks. So we're 4 minutes. We just got to go down here, around here to the corner, and then we'll park. See you in a sec. All right, we are here. It's like a construction zone, huh? Oh, I guess that makes sense. Bulldozer. Trying out a new voice here, by the way. We are not going to make that corner on the outside. 40 XP. Oh, gosh, that looks like super easy, doesn't it? Challenge accepted. I thought we might get a 90 here. We're going to take out the fence, I think, unless we can go straight here. There we go. Dropped it in. And we are here. Bulldozer. Home. Nice. All right, let's turn this in. We're in here, decoupling. Now we had, I think the way that sleeping thing worked, it kept hitting me with $200 fines. I think we got 4 of them, so about 800 we lost on fines. But 34,000, it should be a good chunk of experience here. Yes! All the way up to level 11. Nice. Nice long ride for that. That's good. So let's continue on. We can add some just-in-time delivery, hazardous cargo, high-value cargo, fragile cargo. Let's do another hazardous one here. Apply that. We'll just kind of go back and forth across those now. So looks like we have about 44,000 in the bank, which is excellent. And how's our loans doing, by the way? Let's see what we owe the bank. We have 371,000 still left to repay. That's a hefty amount there to repay. But oh well, we're kind of chipping away at it. And map-wise, we are in a good position here. We zoom out here, we are just a fragment away from the southwest corner of Wyoming. So we'll be able to head right up into it. I'm going to kind of take the day off from driving tomorrow, and we will be back on Tuesday for our first episode in Wyoming. Let me know if you're going to get it. Are you excited about it? I'm pretty excited to be I wonder if there's going to be an event for it too at the same time. Because I know Idaho just had its event, and maybe it didn't have one when it was released. Anyway, I'm not really sure, but we'll explore. So looking forward to first drive in Wyoming on Tuesday. Maybe try to do that 7 days in Wyoming kind of series of events there too. But we'll see. See everybody on Tuesday. Have a great start to the week. Take care, everybody. Bye.